Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about something a little different this time, and I'm going to be deviating from my usual Taurus rising routine, and I want to talk about Zodiac signs and shopping. I'm going to talk about all 12, starting with Aries and ending with Pisces. Now, the first sign, Aries, the one thing about them is that Aries can be very impatient, I think, and when you see in Aries when they're shopping, they're going to probably, they may overlook some bargains because they can be impatient, they could be impulsive. They probably do better if they shop by themselves because they don't have to worry about somebody that might be looking at things a little bit longer than they are, maybe holding them up or prolonging their stay, whether it's the grocery store or whether it's a retail store. Aries can be very generous and magnanimous, similar to Leo, so they may not really worry about the dollar as much as, say, the earth signs are, so they're not quite as prudent, I don't see, on average, as far as compared to a lot of the other signs, as far as, or I should say, compared to the earth signs, especially as far as spending money. And the next sign, Taurus. When we look at Taurus, Taurus is can be very methodical, very plotting. Taurus will take their time often, I believe, whether it's a supermarket or retail store. They want to maximize the dollar and get their best buy, and they'll scrutinize a little bit more at the prices as opposed to a lot of the other signs. I believe their focus is often on pragmatic and practical gifts, and they often are, being an earth sign, very premeditative. I believe Taurus people would be more inclined to have a list when they go to the store, and I have Taurus rising, as many of you know, and I make a list like every day I go to the store. I compile a list, and I'll be checking things off as I'm purchasing the items, so I kind of understand how that goes. And they do like to buy things that are Taurus can be earthy. They like to, if they have a garden, they may often buy things that are connected with that, as far as things for cultivation, gardening, and just things that come handy, that are very practical and have good use. That can, and the items that they want to get are often ones they feel are going to be very durable, and they're not going to run out very quickly. Whatever items that might be for a car or what have you, they're going to they might analyze it and just see something that they think is going to be good for the long haul, and may spend a little bit more at times if they're going to get something that's going to last a little bit longer, I think. So that's something, I think, with Taurus to consider as far as shopping goes. Now, for Gemini, Gemini is the sign that likes to, they like the variety, they like to diversify. Gemini in a store can be going through all different aisles and may not buy a lot every time they go in, but a lot of times they're kind of like the window shoppers. I see them. They're the ones that kind of look around, and they like to see just a wide variety of items. They may like to buy things that fulfill their intellectual needs. Things that puzzle books could be something they may like to get when they go out to the store. Things of a mental nature, games like Trivial Pursuit can be things that Geminis like, and things where that challenge the mind, that really involves a strong mental aptitude. Now, the next sign, Cancer. Well, Cancer, I think Cancer and food, and I should say in love, kind of go hand in hand. I look at Cancer, and Cancer is a sign that I believe food can be in a tie with love, as far as what they actually love and what they're enamored with. And Cancer going into a grocery store really loves, I think, that what they want to get as far as food go, maybe arguably more than any other sign. Maybe Taurus can give them a run for their money. But the thing connected with the food, things are for home and family. I think Cancers are more inclined to go shopping with other family members and to buy things that are more for the home. Now, when most people shop, a lot of things are pertaining to the home, but I think cancer even more so, and things for family members as well, and they think about their probably their family as far as shopping habits go a little bit more on an average as opposed to the other 11 zodiac signs. Now, Leo's a sign that's very royal, very dignified, and obviously it's a sign that takes pride, I believe, in whatever they do, and that also pertains to shopping. Leos may be somewhat extravagant and may spend an exorbitant amount of money on their items. Leo is a sign that likes to, I would say, buy things, if it's clothing, things that are flamboyant or just bright, vibrant colors that really stand out and make others take notice of them. They like Leos will like to shop, and compared to many of the other signs, they're not always worried about what's in the credit card or what they have. They might be the kind that doesn't fret over the financial element or aspect of what they're purchasing, and they do like to spend a lot. And I mean, obviously you can't go over what's on your card unless, well, credit cards you can. If it's a debit card, we know you can't do it, but on some credit card programs you can go over and then pay your penalty or whatever later on, or whatever it is. So you, but Leos would be more inclined to do that because it is the sign, I believe, more associated with extravagance than the other 11. So the next sign, Virgo, being an earth sign, is going to be premeditative. It's similar to Taurus with the planning and plotting and making the list. I think when you see Virgo shopping, well, Virgo, like Gemini, might buy things of an intellectual nature, similar with the puzzle books and things where they can analyze things. A Rubik's Cube, though, it may not be much popular anymore, but that would be something that a Virgo, I think, would like to purchase, because they could be turning that thing around all different ways and trying to analyze, well, if I turn this way and I turn this in the other direction, maybe it increases my chances of solving this thing. And that's just something where I could see Virgos being interested in. And also, if they're going, say, even to a grocery store, I would say Virgo, even perhaps over the other 11 signs, might really be scrutinizing and looking at like prices per, like as far as food goes, per ounce, and looking at those items and analyzing it. Paper towels price per square inch or whatever, or square foot, or however they write it, and that would be something that Virgos would do. And I think Virgos are very particular as well, and they would really be looking, they also want to make sure that their item is going to be whatever, even if it's food or whether it's a mechanical product, whatever it may be, they want to make sure that they feel comfortable that it's going to be the right thing for them, and that everything's okay prior to purchasing the item. You may not be able to do that so much with food. Sometimes you could smell the meat or something, but they're the type that'll take more precautions as far as that goes. Now, for Libra, Libra is the balance sign. They're about equilibrium, being equitable. When they go out, whether it's grocery store shopping, I would see them being very fair-minded, and then they have Libras that have family that stays with them at their home. They want to be fair and go get this for this person, give this amount for this other person, and they're not the type that would want to neglect anybody in that kind of situation. And they want to see the fair amount for what they buy. They're probably, I don't see them being as extravagant as Leo, but they're not as frugal as, say, a Taurus or a Virgo. And they'll spend, I would say, at least moderately if it's an item that has a lot of quality to it and they think they're getting if it's a relatively good price for them. They want the balance of quality and price, I think, factored in when they purchase an item. So the next sign, Scorpio. Now, Scorpio, somebody figured prominently in my life some time ago. She bought a number of astrology books, and I think Scorpio being, I think, unequivocally the most occult of all the signs, can stock up often on these kind of items, whether it be supernatural occult items and astrological books, items, and this is something that they could be very enamored with, more so perhaps than any of the other zodiac signs on average. And Scorpio going to like a grocery store, I think, could be a little more investigative. If they happen to see an item that's not on the shelf, and they're going to look and they'll say, well, this other item's comparable to them. It's got the real the big brand name. Why is the generic one out here? Are they trying to sell more of the higher priced item, and they're trying to make it seem like they're out of stock on the other one just to get the more expensive one to go? And I think I think Scorpio is more investigative as far as things of that nature goes when it comes to shopping. Now, Sagittarius. Well, Sagittarius is an expansive, ebullient sign, and they're very happy-go-lucky. They can find enthusiasm in virtually anything they do. They may like to go shopping for the simple ability to get outside for that short term before they actually go into the store. And in Sagittarians, it's a sign, I would think, more than the others on average, are more even inclined towards sports. So if you have a Sagittarius that sun, moon, or ascendant and is going shopping there in a retail store, they may very often get something sports related or something outdoorsy, even if it's a frisbee. And Sagittarians being a fire sign, I think would be similar to Leo and Aries, because Sagittarius does things usually on a grand scale, and I think that that would apply and pertain to shopping habits as well. And they may like to go and get a lot of, when they go out shopping, may spend a little more than the average person does in doing so, and does this even, I could see them in a very exuberant fashion, where a lot of people are just like, oh, I got to go shopping, or I got to go to the retail or grocery store, oh man, I don't want to go there. Well, they kind of somehow make it more enjoyable than the average person. Now, in contrast to this, Capricorn. Capricorn is it could be very placid, very serious sign. And when Capricorn goes into a grocery store, retail store, what have you, I kind of look at them like, they want, like Taurus, it's about the pragmatic, practical quality of things. Also, often if they have a business, they have a store or some company, they could be often going to buy business items, maybe more so than the average person that is connected or owns or business or something. And Capricorn is that kind of sign, and they can be obviously very serious, and when they go into a store, it's like they're economical. They want to buy this and get the best bang for their buck on it. And they want everything to be something that they feel is going to be very useful for them. They don't like wasted expenditures or expenses. So that's something with Capricorn. And Capricorn is very conservative. Often the items, the true and the tried, the things that have worked for them previously, they're often going to buy. Now, Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is a sign where I could see Aquarius liking to buy a lot of gadgets, gizmos, electronic computer items. They want to buy things where it's things that are connected with innovation, new items with science and technology. Aquarius going into a grocery store may be somewhat unpredictable, might buy certain things one time and then get a certain brand or something the next. Their shopping habits, even though Aquarius being a fixed sign, I could see them being somewhat, I guess you could say, a little bit unpredictable as far as what they buy. They might buy similar items consistently, don't get me wrong, because they are a fixed sign, but they might change up the brand every now and then and get one kind of dessert one time and then get another the next, and things of that nature. And Aquarius, this was based on one book I read, and you could either take it or leave it, that the buying habits, it's said to in this, it was just one book I read this, mind you, that the buying habits can be paradoxical, that Aquarians can often spend a lot on large items, more on the big items, and then when it comes to smaller items, say like going to the grocery store, they may minimize and spend and be more frugal with that. But that is just one from one book, and I'm not really 100% to really say whether that's 100% accurate or not, but with Aquarius, maybe perhaps it is, and I'll let you guys figure that, and you could tell me what you think of that thought, or that statement. Now, last but not least, Pisces. Now, Pisces is kind of the dreamer. They're kind of a sign where they're not the ones I would see them making the list and checking it twice, so to speak, and doing all this premeditation and compiling their list before going to the grocery store. I kind of see them kind of letting their intuition, their insight guide them to where they're going to go. Now, they seem to have more of a knack instinctively, maybe what to buy and what to purchase, but I don't see them as being like the big tremendous planners of when they go into a store. So, and Pisceans are the type, they're very compassionate, and often when they go, they're going to think of someone else, and because Pisces is the sign of self-sacrifice, and may often spend a little more to buy something for somebody else, even if it means that they have to get less for themselves in some instances. So Pisces is not really the most systematic or methodical shopper. I believe they still find a way to get what they want, but it's more about being intuitive and insightful. Kind of tells them where to go when they're shopping. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the 12 zodiac signs in shopping. And stay tuned next time, where I will be continuing my series that I'm talking about right now, is what I'm currently on, and that would be the chart signatures. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.